Well, I went for my regular physical at my doctor's office. Came out, got my blood work and everything the next week. They told me I was diabetic. I was totally stunned. I mean, I knew I was overweight, getting older, the whole 9 yards, but diabetic, I didn't even know what it was. So I went to Prescription Plus is where I get, any cold medicine or something, whatever. I'm not a big medicine person. So I went there, and actually Davy was one. I was crying, because I didn't even know anything about it. And he asked, I said, I don't know what this is. I don't even know how to take this medicine. And they gave you the stick pins. I don't know what they're called. I'm just, like, uneducated still on it. But and then he told me, he said, well, and they were real expensive. Our insurance didn't cover it very much. And I was like, oh wow, And he told me, he said, we have a lifestyle construction class coming up that might help you. And I was like, oh, really? And I reached out. He gave me Billy's name and everything, and I reached out to Billy, and I think it was Carrie, and I talked to both of them, and he told me about the program and come sit in on the, what do they call it when they do the first one?
Just the free intro class.
Yeah, the intro class. So I went in on that, and I was like, oh, wow, this is me, because anything I can do naturally, that's what I want to do, and they seemed really nice. They seemed like they'd be easy to talk to, and I didn't have to be embarrassed of my ignorance of the situation, or judged that way. So then I joined the class, and from then it was amazing. The change and everything was amazing to me.
And that was in January.
That
right?
was January, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, I was in the January before, so I've been out about a year and a half.
Oh, okay, so that was in January 2000.
Correct.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Now I'm
Yep.
following the timeline.
So now I'm in about a year and a half, not half, but a year. January I had been out of the class, and still doing everything they tell me.
Sure.
I did get off my diabetes medicine within 3 months. Within 3 months, I was off the medicine, the metformin, I believe it was. And the doctor, he kept me on an extra 3 months because he was like, I don't know. I'm like, no, really, I think I can do this. But I didn't know enough, and my doctor's my doctor. So, and Billy was like, okay, the next 3 months, he'll see that you're still going to be where you're at if you continue on how I'm teaching you what to do. And when the 6 months, my doctor told me, he said, I have a handful of people that have been able to turn it around like you have. And he was amazed, and I told him what I did, and he was like, wow. And he actually is like Billy. He's a doctor, but if he doesn't have to prescribe medicine, he's not one that's like, here, take this. He knows his patients, and he's actually very healthy, and would rather do it naturally than to do medicine. So he was all about it. He's like, well, keep going. Yes, I probably never shopped like that before in my life. I thought before I went to class that I was a decently healthy eater. I mean, I knew I had my pasta's my weakness, so I knew that was, a no, but I did it anyway. But the stuff that he showed us where to go, the aisles, I knew nothing about it. It was overwhelming at first, because you're like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't even understand. The first thing was a lot, because you learn a lot the first day, but then you go back each week, and it starts just making sense, and it's really easy. I mean, really.
After a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
most getting organized to be prepared, to make sure I didn't have my refrigerator wasn't empty, or I wasn't out of the things I needed to eat, because ironically, I started eating way more than I ever have, and I needed to eat. I would probably eat somebody if I didn't eat. And people don't believe that, but it's the truth. You have to keep your body fed, where people think if they eat one time a day, they're going to lose. And I've struggled with weight throughout my life, so I knew all the other types of ways to lose weight, and then of course gain it back. But this wasn't about weight; it was about my health. It's hesitation, because if you've struggled with weight, you don't want to eat and gain more, so your mind, it's a culture thing. I think your mind just plays tricks on you, but then when my body would tell me it's time to eat, it was almost like, you better eat. Well, physically was really only about 2 to 3 weeks in, because I had so much more energy immediately, much better positive attitude. Obviously you're doing something for yourself, and you're motivated. You've got support group around you doing the same things, having the same struggles you are. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks, I noticed a huge change, especially on my energy. Now, appearance-wise, probably right at the 3-month mark, right when I didn't weigh, because he doesn't suggest weighing during it, and I think that's a definite, because I think I lost more inches and everything than I did weight to begin with. At this point, I've lost 73 pounds, and I have more to go, but I wasn't even worrying about weight. It was how I felt, how I looked, how my clothes fit. So the weight just came after, and I was like, yay. No, I really didn't, because of the way I felt. It is what it's called, lifestyle. So now, even a year later, if I do something that I know, quote, that's not a good, healthy choice, I do feel guilty if I do that. I'm not perfect, but it's not that where I'm just going to not continue to do what I did, because the benefits outweigh it a million times. I mean, like anybody says, so many people struggle with not just weight. Like you said, it's health. It's how you feel, how you even think. You have more energy. You don't just want to go home and sit on the couch. You want to go home and actually, take a walk. And I do the CrossFit, so I do love that. It's very challenging, but I enjoy it. I did. My husband was very proud of me. He was very concerned when I was diagnosed as a diabetic. Of course, your spouse, your best friends, you count on them. They know everything about you. So he was very supportive of me going ahead and doing this. He's like, and again, he was never concerned that I was overweight. He loved me how I was. He's physically fit, but I wish he would have told me how overweight I was. But, so, I got that support. Then work. When anybody sees your attitude change or your physical appearance, they say something positive. And then they're like, how do you do that? How did you do that? And the hardest thing, and Billy will say this too, you really have to want to do it. You can tell anybody all day long how you did it. They have to come and do it.
Yeah.
And learn about it. I liked the vegetables. I thought that was great. I mean, it was very simple. I like the simplicity about it, because, if you're going to stay in the green vegetables, or, the chicken, or, I like the fact I knew what to eat. I didn't have to figure out every day, or, it wasn't very complicated. And like I said, I do actually like what I say is healthy food. I was amazed with the protein I got to eat. I enjoyed that. and actually, you do get some fat, and you're really not limited to, I don't know, I don't really know. I like the shakes too. I would say listen to Billy and follow the program. Even if you can't rationalize it in your head, listen to what he says. And he is so easy when you question something. He knows his stuff, so he will tell you why it's like it. It's not like he's just making it up. And then if you listen, it'll work. And the minute you think you know it a different way, it just seems like, no, that's not. I would definitely be prepared to listen to something that you've never heard of before, and sounds almost crazy. It does. It sounds a little crazy, and then watch your body, your mind, your whole attitude transform, and it's worth every minute of it.